Life's not a product, it's not a goal, it's not a tangible thing that you can put in your pocket and carry around with you. It's not perfect. Life's all about that journey, the project itself, the process, the connections that we make with each other. Who are we? I started this project with a goal in mind, simply to get stories and make new connections. Little did I know that this would turn into something much, much bigger than I imagined. This is Forging Friendships.
It's a little too dramatic for you.
Sorry we started things off a little
Dramatic?
I get asked a lot, what is Forging Friendships? And I don't think I've done a very good job of explaining what I'm actually trying to do with this project. It's been going over my head quite a bit. Who's going to be the first episode? How am I going to put it out there? What type of product am I putting out for your enjoyment? And again, I don't think I've done a very good job of packaging that. Forging Friendships is all about that, forging a friendship with anyone and everyone that I possibly can. The majority of the folks that are going to be on the show in the first season are knife makers. I mean, that's where I got to start. I got a lot of connections here that are fresh and that are great, and I'm really enjoying forging those friendships. So that's where we're starting. But there are others in different industries that we're going to go get their story. And now that's the other thing, is it's all about getting that story. And the people that I have come in contact with, that I'm forging those friendships with, that's where I'm starting. But I want their story. Who are we? Who are they? That's what I want to get out. I want the story of the creator. So for a brief little taste, I've put together some of the footage that I've already gotten from filming different episodes. And we're just going to give little teasers here and there, so hopefully you get a better understanding and idea of what I'm trying to accomplish here and what I'm trying to get out in front of you, and hopefully you enjoy it. So here you go, the first little compilation video of Forging Friendships footage. Say that 3 times fast.
And just the great people that you're going to meet. It's just, that's the best part of this, and that's what's so important about what Philip's doing with this program, is because you wouldn't have any idea of the relationships you can develop with people and their stories that really make that connection. It's kind of like I told him, sometimes it's almost like a light. When you start talking to somebody, their face literally lights up when they're talking about their experiences and the things that they share. And it can be the simplest question, or it can be the most difficult question. But what's awesome about the whole thing is it's literally just the ride. You know, it's just walking that path with somebody for a few moments or an hour and getting inside their head for a minute and learning about them.
You're worried about looking goofy? It's a Waffen Rock, thank you.
Waffen Rock.
Waffen Rock. Pick out the fake.
Pick out the fake.
Pick out the
wow, somebody's putting me on the spot.
I have.
Man. I'm leaning towards that one already, but don't.
My dad was the ground controller for NASA, Johnson Space Center.
So you grew up as the quintessential space kid.
I was. Everybody thinks we had this animosity. And even the film crew came up to us at one point during the final segment. It's like, are you two really okay to leave alone here? I mean, y'all seem like y'all are kind of having problems with each other. It's like, no, we're totally good though. And we are, we're all still friends to this day. My wife says that myself, Jason, and Francesco, Alf still doesn't have a smartphone, so he doesn't get it on the texting. Yeah, she's like, man, you, Jason, and Francesco are like our little schoolgirl BFFs, man. All y'all do is text each other every day. And we do,
Extreme sports. I am not a ball sport kind of guy. Closest to ball sports I'm going to get will be hockey. It's not a ball. Flat ball. Though when I did coach Little League hockey, it was a little round ball inside the skating rinks. So yes, there was a little bit of a ball in there. No, I was anything extreme. I'm an adrenaline junkie. I skated for Team Rollerblade, had lots of sponsors. We traveled all over 5 states, did all sorts of shows. I can still actually remember skating in the Astral Hall before they tore all that down. I've got to skate with Tony Hawk, Arlo Eisenberg, all sorts of different guys at different points. Race mountain bikes with Lance Armstrong at one point, or against Lance. He left me in the dust. It was quite a joke for me to even be there. I've got to see a lot of really great guys. GT and Gary Fisher both had partial sponsorships where they helped me out. They would give me bikes. Lamy, I was racing for Sun and Ski for a little while. We did many things and had a really good time with that. So for many years, it's all I did. I like motocross, snowboarding. I'm a snow ski instructor, snowboard. I whitewater kayak. I ride dual sports. We rock climb. If it's an extreme sport, skydiving, whatever, we'll do it. All about it. And that's off that 30-inch launch ramp, back when I was Team Rollerblade.
That's you up in the air?
Yeah.
Man.
There's backflips on BMX bikes. There's sawhorses I was talking about doing on mountain bikes. Back when I raced for Sun and Ski Sports. Military stuff, paintball, skydiving, Mount Rainier, skiing all through those areas. Crested Butte, I was just there. We were just actually there 2 weeks ago. Whitewater paddling, doing squirt moves. Remember we were talking about squirt moves?
Yep.
So we were doing enders and things like that. I did a lot of motocross. I still ride my bikes all the time. Big airs off of cliffs, snowboarding, ziplining in Costa Rica, surfing Costa Rica, doing barrels and all that kinds of stuff. California out there. That's Biarritz, southern France.
How do you do a lot of Thai restaurants do the spice rating?
By rating, yeah.
Do that?
It go by spoon.
Do you ever have anybody come in that wants it ridiculous like that?
They do. And they, most of the time they want to show off that girl. I can see that their face turn red. I'm like, you can't hold it. My name is 2 miles long. Hi, my name is Patampong Ratanaman, and everybody call me Pat. I'm originally from Bangkok, Thailand. Came to America back in the late 90s, early 2000s. I did not speak any English. I guess I still not speak any English right now, but hopefully you guys understand me. I've seen a lot of bad political. Growing up, has a lot of coup. What you call that? Coup?
A coup?
A coup. So I didn't like that. I'm like, man, they say it's a democratic country, but from what I've seen through my eyes, it wasn't like that. So I'm like, man, you know what? I tried something. I've been telling my mom, and my mom saw it, like, I wasn't happy. So one day, she go, hey son, here's ticket airplane, and the $50. I was lucky enough that they put I call her aunt, my aunt,
Right.
put me in the American roommate, with the American roommate, so that forced me to speak English. I didn't even know back then what the refrigerator called, so I pointed, what do you call this? And I went from there. Learned my English for 2 years.
Probably my biggest pride and joy is the Nazel 3B, built in August of 1915. So here we got the layout more or less for your tomahawks and knife blades. We'll get these pathed. In other words, we're going to create a tooling path for the water jet to follow. We'll get that done, and then we'll send it out to the water jet. It is now out at the water jet.
Just like that.
Just like that. Owned and ready, rotated, all that fun stuff. Cool.
Yeah.
That cross came out nice. This is just where we put stuff to dry.
We'll say that second. I'll redo that. I'm not used to being on camera. I've never been on camera. Whatever. So that was in the April issue of Blade back page. They give you a whole page, and I was really excited about that. They called and said, "Yeah, we're gonna." Steve from the editor called. We're gonna put you on the back page. It's really coveted. Blah blah blah. I was like, man, this is great. I mean, this is wonderful. And he said, oh, you get all kinds of exposure. And then 1 week before that magazine came out, we went into quarantine, and it just went. I mean, just no one saw it. I mean, it just no one had. People who did have it were afraid the world was coming to an end and the sky is falling tomorrow, and no one. It just you have your 15 minutes. It's over. And so you go. I told my wife. She goes, oh, what's the big deal? I said, 12 guys in the world get this per year. I said, this is my opportunity to sing the national anthem at the Super Bowl and the microphone doesn't work. I said, that's exactly what happened. And she goes, got it. I was like, yeah, that's like, that figures,
Hey, buddy.
Don't touch it.
Is there more? I don't know. Where are we? Who are we? How did I get here? Where are my pants? I hate when this happens. So yeah, why don't you come on inside and check out my disaster shop. They're like, we can't really give you any information at all, but it's a bladesmithing competition. If you win, you'll win money. And I'm like, how much money? They're like, well, we can't really tell you that either. I'm like, what can you tell me? Will you kill me when I get there? Is this a trap? You work for the government. It was kind of like right up my alley, because they're like, well, we can't really tell you what we're going to put you through, but it's not going to be easy. It's something you've never done, which is really the important part. I'm like, oh, I've never done that before. That sounds like it's going to be completely insane. Maybe I'll do it. And I'm like, where do you film? And they're like, well, we might film in California, we might film in New York. And I'm like, well, if you film in New York, I'll do it. And I was like, I don't know if I'll do California. And they're like, why New York? I'm like, oh, my family lives out there and I can't afford to go see them, so this would be a great way for me to get there for free. So basically I did Forged in Fire so that I could go visit my mom.
We decided we're going to jump in the car and we're going anyway. Monty and I get in the car and we go down to Belleville. Well, guess what? I see some familiar faces again that I had seen at the knife show that came anyway. One of which is yours truly over there. And I said, Philip, do you remember me? No. I said, at Bastrop? No. I even bought a knife from you. No, I see a lot of people. I said, dude, I get it. I said, no pressure. It's okay. I'm just messing.
I gotta jump in. To my defense, he shaved. So it looked, but yeah, I know.
Yeah. Truth is, yeah, unwillingly shaved. Yeah, that's part of my other story.
Well, I'll jump back in here.
It fell off.
We know a thing or two about unwillingly shaving at the same time.
Well, this is true.
Yeah.
So anyway, we had that interaction with Philip, but he was very gracious, and I told him, I said, really, dude? And then what was really awesome was Poor Cowboy had bought all these shirts, and it's advertising all the great people that are going to be there that weekend. And so I said, well, let me buy, I felt sorry for him. I said, let me buy some shirts. The shirts are really cool. And he goes, you want the guys to sign them? And I said, no way. He's like, yeah. He said, we'll have the guys sign them. He starts passing the shirts around, and everybody's signing the shirts. And I thought, I'll never wear that shirt again, because I'm not going to wash that off. I mean, it's still in my house. I haven't worn the shirt because all the signatures are on it. For anybody that wants to start looking at doing this, I can't tell you enough. Start going to some of the events, start meeting some of the people, because you're going to meet the most gracious people you're ever going to meet in your life. It's so important for them to be able to share their experiences with you, to share their knowledge with you. They open the package at Christmas again when they get to see you getting that look that they remember when they started. You see everything out here that's amazing to you, and you're just in awe. And God gives you that moment where you can just create something for yourself, where you just get a tiny, tiny taste of what it must have been like. That's amazing to me. And that He gives us the ability to create also. And you can make incredibly amazing things. You can make tools that you may need to work. You can make your own tongs. It's limitless. And it's just such an awesome opportunity to be able to do those things. But then the friendships you make along the way are staggering. I just can't believe all the different walks from different people's life experiences. Philip and I were talking this morning, his life experiences, my life experiences. I've talked to a cowboy, who's highly educated, in his background. If you don't know it, you wouldn't know it because he doesn't flaunt it. But if you read his bio, it's amazing what he's done in his life. And just the great people that you're going to meet. It's just, that's the best part of this. And that's what's so important about what Philip's doing with this program, is because you wouldn't have any idea of the relationships you can develop with people and their stories that really make that connection. It's kind of like I told him, sometimes it's almost like a light. When you start talking to somebody, their face literally lights up when they're talking about their experiences and the things that they share. And it can be the simplest question, or it can be the most difficult question. But what's awesome about the whole thing is it's literally just the ride. It's just walking that path with somebody for a few moments or an hour and getting inside their head for a minute and learning about them.